The awards honor those shaping a stronger Rhode Island through innovative community revitalization and preservation initiatives and partnerships. Each year, passionate, creative, and resourceful Rhode Islanders show us a way to tap our state's full potential through projects, plans, and policies that play to Rhode Island's strengths and generate long-lasting economic and environmental benefits both statewide and in specific neighborhoods. Today we're recognizing 3 award recipients in the categories of Outstanding Smart Growth Leaders, Outstanding Smart Growth Projects, Outstanding Smart Growth Policies or Plans. These award recipients were selected from a considerable number of nominees by our awards selection committee, consisting of several board members and staff. The committee reviewed the award nominees based on the extent to which they exemplified 10 smart growth principles. So now, Executive Director Scott Wolf and I will showcase each of the awardees, beginning with an outstanding smart growth project, 122 North Main Street, Woonsocket. Scott?
Thanks, Gail. 122 North Main Street is the first major mixed-use development located in the Woonsocket Downtown Overlay District, which is a revitalization initiative that earned the Smart Growth Policy Award from us back in 2016. The historic building at 122 North Main was redeveloped by co-owners John Messier and Les Prisbilko. The project includes 17 market-rate apartments on the upper floors, and the first floor is occupied by both a co-working space and Lops Brewing, a microbrewery which has initiated a wide variety of community programming, such as a reading group and a home brewers club. All the apartments were tastefully developed with the full range of modern everyday conveniences that renters are looking for, and the units rented quickly after completion in January 2020. Located just steps away from the Stadium Theater, local favorite eateries, and access to public transportation, these new units give the city more housing options, but still affordable ones for everyday workers. The community rallied strongly behind the project when it was first denied by the zoning board. After slightly altering the project plans, it was approved unanimously due to broad community support. And now, let's roll the video.
Additional options for living, additional retail space, and human capital is extremely important in a downtown area. We're showing that what 122 North Main Street did and what the Downtown Overlay District did has fulfilled some of the needs and wants of what folks are looking for.
You know, you do things affordably, efficiently. You're trying to do something that's sustainable so that it can be here for the next generation.
You know, easier, more comfortable, modern life that Providence and cities like Boston have to offer. And I think we don't have enough of it in Woonsocket.
But what's interesting about Woonsocket, we have not slowed down when it comes to growing our city.
I'm really excited about this project because it really represented exactly the kind of development that we want to see in downtown Woonsocket. The last thing that we want to see is these buildings turn into parking lots.
This is what we need to do to continue to grow our Main Street.
So I give John and Les a huge amount of credit. You know, they had the vision, they took on the risk.
So I purchased the building a while back. We initiated the city council and city officials with the actual idea, which they were really stood behind this. And then I think the second time around when we went to zoning, we were able to explain ourselves a little better what exactly we're doing.
The fact that we got into the overlay district by itself, the local government looking out for the community members and trying to put something together that could make this project happen.
At the same time, gave us trust and belief that we can go forward and actually continue.
So 122 North Main Street, which I like to call the Johnston Building, built in 1891.
I really just saw that there was an opportunity to take old, dilapidated, abandoned buildings from my neighborhood, doing something that would also benefit the city at the same time.
You're offering housing, and you're also offering retail, business, brewery.
I really feel like this project in itself is going to attract more people to say, hey, let's go check out Woonsocket. It's really not that far. It's really a great town. We've got a lot of great things going on.
When you add those components to your Main Street, you're thinking, I'm going to go to the Stadium Theater. But before I go to the Stadium Theater, I'm going to go out to dinner.
And I really feel it's going to lead to a lot more success for the district.
Coming together between private institutions and government institutions, those projects can exist and improve greatly sustainability and actually retain the talent that we actually have in the state.
Congratulations to John, Les, and the City of Woonsocket on their partnership that made this project possible. And we're glad to hear they're on to their next project near the Woonsocket train depot. Woonsocket's Main Street revitalization is clearly on a roll. And now back to you, Gail.
Thanks, Scott. Next up is the City of Providence Great Streets and Urban Trail Network Master Plan. Following a year-long, robust community engagement process, Great Streets was unveiled by Mayor Jorge Elorza on January 27, 2020. The plan establishes a framework for public space improvements to ensure that every street in Rhode Island is safe, equitable, and sustainable. These improvements include streetscape and placemaking projects, safety improvements to make streets and intersections safer for pedestrians and bicyclists and everyone in between, traffic calming to reduce speeding and cut through traffic, and the creation of a 75-mile spine network of urban trails that connect every Providence neighborhood. Other goals including improving traffic safety and personal safety within the public realm for people of all ages, abilities, and economic statuses, as well as improving both air quality and overall public health. Now let's roll the video.
It's pretty cool to be able to take something from visioning and community input all the way through to implementation in such a short time span.
To me, what the Great Streets Initiative means is making the most out of our public roads so that they're inviting to every resident, regardless of how it is that you get around and also who you are.
Whether you're waiting for the bus, riding your bike with your children, whether you're 8 years old or 80 years old, we want everybody to feel safe and comfortable getting where they're going.
Traffic and speeding issues and street safety is a huge priority for most of the city. Folks really are excited for the changes that are coming.
We don't have a car, so we primarily walk everywhere or we use our bikes to get around the city. This is going to be great for us to be able to bike together safely, especially with our daughter alongside us.
I feel safer because cars go crazy fast.
You notice the difference how stress-free it is to ride down Olney Street because you're just worrying about biking.
You can also experience the smells and the sounds of a city or wherever you are and wherever you're biking.
You're not worrying about any interactions with vehicles, and it makes it so convenient and stress-free to get from one area to the other. So we want to see more of that for sure.
What we're doing here in Providence is we're building our city and we're building our roads for people.
A great example of that is what's happening right here in the Jewelry District in the 195 area, where the city is making investments in the Clifford Street bike lanes, the pedestrian bridge that everybody loves. All of that is critical to making sure, again, that we're supplying that place and those characteristics that these businesses and developers are seeking when they're investing in our city. The whole process took about a year to a year and a half. This project started out with a fairly robust public engagement initiative.
So we went door to door in many different neighborhoods all across the city, and now we are engaging folks with our new mobile community engagement setup, asking people how they think Providence was, what it is now, and what it will be in the future.
We held 12 different neighborhood charrettes where we had community members come in and we wanted to hear from them. We took all that feedback, put together a draft plan, released that to the public, took public comment again. We had a great interactive online map where community members could offer additional feedback if they couldn't come in person. And then we wrapped things up back in June.
My advice to any city that's interested in this work but just doesn't know exactly where to start is, you can start slow. So you don't have to go from 0 to 100 all the way. There are many easy steps that you can take to get this going. Once you get going, I guarantee you that you're going to look for the next progressive step that you can take.
Wow, it's been great to see the first phases of this urban trail network being installed throughout the city, with much more to come. Now back to you, Scott.
Thanks, Gail. We're now moving on to recognize this year's outstanding smart growth leader, Bill Hatfield, Market President of Bank of America in Rhode Island. As an outstanding civic leader, financial executive, and community consciousness raiser, Bill Hatfield has championed advances for decades in the three pillars of the smart growth movement: economy, equity, and environment. He's also been generous both in providing financial support for Grow Smart RI through Bank of America and sage counsel on how to establish effective coalitions and arguments for sustainable economic growth and quality of place. In the arena of economic and community revitalization, Bill has long been a champion for one of Grow Smart Rhode Island's signature initiatives, the State Historic Tax Credit Program, as well as being very supportive of another of our priorities, increased state and private funding for affordable and workforce housing. While serving as chair of the Providence Foundation, he forged a strong partnership with Grow Smart RI in support of a variety of critical investments and incentives for the revitalization of downtowns and main streets throughout the state. We look forward to continuing to work with Bill on Rhode Island's critical economic and community development opportunities. And now, let's roll the video.
It's about building a future that is inclusive, that is built off of the extraordinary assets that are unique to Rhode Island: economy, equity, and environment. I look at the three pillars of smart growth and what it means to Rhode Island, and I look at it through the lens of sustainability. And it's not just a theoretical exercise, but really a practical framework for sustaining growth in Rhode Island over the longer term. I'm Bill Hatfield. I'm the Market President of Bank of America here in Rhode Island. We at Bank of America have been involved in a number of projects through investing in historic tax credits. A couple of projects include the South Street Landing transformation, as well as the Waterfire Arts Center, utilizing some of the wonderful historical assets that we have at our disposal. We're very pleased that Grow Smart was at the table, continuing to advocate for the repurposing and in the investments that were made in each of those facilities. Grow Smart is really dedicated, as we are, to neighborhood revitalization and really connecting opportunity within our neighborhoods through transit, through enhancement of quality of place, focusing on the underserved communities to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to thrive and be connected to the broader growth of Rhode Island. It's growth in the right way. It's growth in the responsible way. It's growth that has an underlying value set associated with it. Housing has long been a priority of ours at Bank of America. And here in Rhode Island, we have a critical need. Housing is just not about the four walls. It's really about safety. It's about health. It's about the stability of our community. And unless we have adequate housing stock, we are not going to thrive as a community. It's that simple. So I've been accused of looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. But as I look at Rhode Island, I believe that the glass is way more than half full. And yet, Rhode Island's best days are ahead of us.
And that concludes our awards presentations for 2020. Thanks to all of our outstanding award winners for helping Rhode Island revitalize its neighborhoods and uplift both our residents and our spirits. And now, on to the rest of our summit program.